your numbers are starting to drop. How do I deal with this? Sometimes you want to throw the towel in, or you make a mistake and you think everybody's going to drop out of your preschool. The question was, what was the most challenging part of the startup process and how did you overcome it? For me, the most challenging part was definitely being alone through the entire process. When I was starting my preschool 10 years ago, there wasn't a Joy Anderson, there wasn't anybody actually teaching how to start a preschool. And so when I was figuring this all out, the only area that I had to relate it to was daycare, and it was completely different, right? I mean, literally I was looking at the daycare crowd saying, okay, that's how they do it. How can I change this for my world? And some things made sense, but other things were just completely off the ball, totally different. So I just had to do a lot of testing, honestly, to figure things out. But definitely being alone was one of the biggest things because I didn't have anybody to motivate me to answer my questions, to really be there for me when I was having those difficult times. So if you're going through this alone where, you don't have somebody with you, I highly recommend, join our Preschool All-Stars group. Be in our group because we can support you, we can motivate you.
Hey, let's take a quick second here. I wanted to ask you, how are you doing? I mean, it's exciting to start a preschool, but are you feeling kind of alone? Is there anyone that you have to talk to about these exciting ideas or even some of your fears or some of your questions, right? Do you have a notebook full of questions? I bet you do. How would you love to be surrounded by myself and hundreds of successful preschool owners on the same journey as you're on, starting, running, and growing your preschool? I'd like to invite you to our Preschool All-Stars. It's an exclusive membership community where that's honestly the only place that I hang out online. And we're there to support you, cheerlead you on, and answer all of your questions. Truly, you will never be alone inside of Preschool All-Stars. You'll also have access to our exclusive, extensive library of done-for-you files, step-by-step video trainings, and all of my systems. I can't wait for you to jump in. Just click the link in the description or go to preschoolallstars.com, and I can't wait for you to join us so that you'll never feel alone again.
And another thing that I would highly suggest to you is having another person who you can just vent to, okay? They don't need to solve your problems, but you just need to be able to vent to them. And for me, that person was my husband. He was thankfully there for almost the entire part of our preschool journey. So he has seen it go from little bitty small home preschool to growing it into the large center. And he's seen all the ups and downs, but most importantly, he was actually really able to be there for me when I had those moments that just, honestly, they would have probably kicked me to the curb, right? The ones where, the preschool parent just calls and blows up at you, or, you lose a student because they move, and then the next week you get another phone call, you lose a student because XYZ, right? And all of a sudden your numbers are starting to drop and you're like, how do I deal with this? And sometimes you want to throw the towel in, or you make a mistake and you think everybody's going to drop out of your preschool. Those were kind of my experiences going into this, and no one else was there for me except for my husband. So thankfully I had him. And if you don't have somebody like that you can just vent and be able to have somebody to pick you right up afterward to say, it's okay. I get that there was that one little hiccup, and I totally get that, but in the grand scheme and the big perspective of everything, it's going to be okay, and here's why. And I hope I can do that for you. I hope you're, enjoying watching these videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. And then of course, quick question for you. Can you comment the one person that you would love to have on your team? Is that your spouse? Is that your preschool teacher friend? Is that somebody who's your best friend across the street? Who's got your back? Who can you reach out to? Hey, this just happened. Can I please just share this with you? And you don't need to fix it, but if you could just listen, that would be great. That's definitely what I would suggest. Is one of the hardest things about going through this process is doing it alone. So if you don't have them, you always have me, and I'm super glad that you're here. Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for, okay, I'm gonna start over. You know my story, right? I was able to get remarried about 10 years ago. We're actually going on our 11th year anniversary coming up here soon. 2 days. Tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Our anniversary is tomorrow.